Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in today's episode of The Hypnotist, I'm going to be doing a hypnosis session based on a particular way of thinking and dealing with ongoing anxious or worrisome thoughts. And I think the nature of the world is that there can be a lot of things that are on our minds, things that we can't control, things that could be detrimental to the quality of our health, our life, people we care about. And therefore, I think a huge number of people are living with intrusive, worrisome thoughts or an underlying yet consistent feeling of anxiety. And currently, at the point where I record this, I'm actually not in the UK. I'm actually in one of the Spanish Balearic Islands. And my children are here with me, and they have been playing around on these inflatable kind of toys, really, rubber rings and lilos and things like that. And it occurred to me that one of the key principles that can lead to one of the symptoms of a panic attack really is this feeling of not being able to breathe, a shortness of breath. And as I was blowing up this kind of inflatable toy, it got me thinking that it would be virtually impossible to have a panic attack while simultaneously blowing up, inflating an inflatable toy, because in order to do that, you need very slow, deliberate, very forceful outward breaths on a consistent basis. And actually, I found myself quite lightheaded, quite relaxed after inflating this toy. And I thought, what an excellent metaphor for the idea of ongoing anxiety. That if you were thinking of that the anxiety inside of you is transferring from you into this inflatable toy, and then you saw that inflatable toy just floating away, it would be very difficult because you've disassociated yourself from the very symptoms or cause of the symptoms. It's no longer in you, it's in a physically sealed entity detached from your body. So that was the thinking behind this session. If you like the sound of this, or just my kind of recordings in general, as a thank you for listening to the show, if you visit my website, which is adamcox.co.uk, and you click the download section, then the audio downloads that are normally priced at £10 or $12, you can actually get one of those completely free just by using the coupon code FREE at the checkout, just as a thank you for listening to the show. And also, if you have something that you want to work on with me specifically, there will be a link to book a free 30-minute consultation call with me just to explore what working with me would be like. But for now, find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in a feeling of resourceful relaxation, and as you exhale, just get a sense that you're feeling more and more deeply relaxed. On the next inward breath, try and take a deeper breath than you normally would. And as you exhale, if it's safe to do so, allow your eyelids to close. And if they're already closed, notice that they feel heavier and more tightly closed than they did before. And in doing so, notice now that you can give more of your focus and attention to the sound of my voice, and in doing so, enable you to go deeper and deeper, relaxed. Now, that's right. And I wonder, as you breathe in and you breathe out, how it would feel for your imagination to take you on a journey. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to create an image in your mind of a luxury hotel with an impressive pool outside. And maybe this is in a hot country. Perhaps you can imagine the blueness of the skies, perhaps the sun reflecting off the surface of the pool. And I want you to move from seeing it as a picture to feeling like you're by the side of that pool. Maybe you can imagine the warmth of the sun on your skin. Perhaps you can hear the water. Maybe there's some kind of fountain or some kind of water trickling from one pool into another pool, or perhaps you're just hearing the splashing of water somewhere else. But I want you to get a sense that you can see that luxurious pool, perhaps nearby to a grand hotel. And I want you to imagine that you are lying on a sun lounger by the side of that pool. And I want you to try your hardest to feel worried or anxious. And it's a weird thing to say, but I want you to imagine what it would be like, what you would need to do in order to feel anxious or to feel worried. Maybe you have to think about something specifically. Maybe you have to think about a consequence, some kind of stimulus, some kind of thing or person that makes you feel a particular way. And as you do that, I want you to scan your body for where that feeling of anxiety is in your body. And if it's a worry, I want you to just figure out what you're doing inside your own body or your own mind to create or to feel that worry. Maybe it's inner dialogue. Maybe it's evaluating some kind of threat or risk. Perhaps it's thinking about consequences or consequences of consequences. But I want you to go through the process that you would normally go through in order to feel anxious, in order to recreate that feeling of worry. And it may be difficult to do so because you're trying to feel worried while you're lounging by the side of a luxurious pool under blue skies and bright sunshine. The kind of environment that you would normally be very relaxed. And yet try your hardest to create that feeling of anxiety. And sometimes the harder you try, the more elusive that anxiety is. But continue to try your hardest to recreate that feeling of anxiety. And you've done it so many times before, so just try your hardest to get into that anxious, worried state. And then imagine that nearby to you is a large inflatable toy that hasn't been inflated yet. Maybe it's still inside a box, or maybe it's folded up. And I don't know if this is a giant rubber ring, a lilo, or some funny looking inflatable creature like a shark or a whale. But I want you to get a sense that currently you're trying your hardest to feel anxious, and that anxiety has a location somewhere in your body. And I want you to get a sense that this inflatable toy has some kind of special properties, that it requires more than just the air that you breathe being forced into this toy to inflate it. This specific inflatable toy needs anxiety or needs worries in order to inflate. I want you to get a sense that somewhere in your body this underlying anxiety or worries. And then imagine picking up this inflatable toy, finding the valve, the nozzle, in order to inflate that toy. And then imagine taking a really deep breath in through your nose. But on the outward breath, imagine that you're breathing into an inflatable toy. Continue to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And each time get a sense that you are inflating the inflatable toy. And notice that your breathing changes. Slow, deep, deliberate breaths in through the nose. And long, steady, outward breaths from the mouth. As you breathe in and breathe out, I want you to get a sense it's more than just the air that you exhale that is inflating this toy. I want you to get a sense that the worries or the anxiety inside you is gradually leaving you and going into the inflatable toy. As you breathe in, imagine breathing in that resourceful feeling, which then displaces the anxiety, so that in your outward breath, that anxiety, as well as your exhaled breath, is inflating that inflatable toy. Breath after breath, the anxiety, the worries are transferring from you into the toy. Imagine keeping breathing that way, in through your nose, out through your mouth. And as you do so, the anxiety, the worries are leaving you and going into the inflatable toy until that inflatable toy of whatever style it is, maybe a rubber ring, a lilo, some kind of strange creature or a different shape, is now fully inflated. And I want you to get a sense that there is no more anxiety left in you. All of the anxiety, all of the worries are now inside that inflatable toy. I want you to imagine putting the inflatable toy on the surface of the pool, and this is a large pool. And then just imagine it floats away. And the further it floats away from you on the surface of the water in that pool, the more you get a sense of just how far removed the anxieties and the worries are from you, because they're all now contained in that inflatable toy. See it floating away, and as it floats away, imagine lying back on that sun lounger, feeling the warmth of the sun on your skin, feeling so deeply relaxed because all of the anxiety and worries are no longer in you, they are in the inflatable toy. As you look across the pool, it's floating even further away now. Imagine closing your eyes again, just in your imagination, and feeling deeper and deeper relaxed, more resourceful, more optimistic than you felt in a long time. And then you realize this is just your imagination, separating anxiety from you and putting it into that inflatable toy. Very soon, I will count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. But you will awaken with no remaining signs of anxiety or worries in your body. You will imagine that that is still in the inflatable toy, in that pool, in your imagination. As you now remind yourself that you are in your physical body, firmly in the present. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, get a sense that you're in your own physical body right now, as I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. You will awaken feeling resourceful, feeling optimistic, feeling confident, and looking forward to your future. Starting to count to awakening you. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.